and then putting in additional practices on parks. So,
can citizens really make a difference? Yes, because of the citizen involvement is essential. We've partnered in the last couple of years with the Prior Lake Spring Lake Watershed District. We're here tonight to talk about Lower Prior Lake.
The residents in Prior Lake definitely associate with the lake. And I think that's, part of why the Watershed District was formed too, that they wanted protection for their lake system. They want somebody watching that lake and making sure that it's going to be clean.
The box is pretty much our study area. Obviously that's around Lower Prior Lake. And the yellow are the sub-watersheds, the areas that drain directly to the lake.
This needs to be a message carried from one citizen to the next, because we'll never have that level of capacity with a relatively small staff to reach out to the 20-some thousand residents that are in the Watershed District.
We wanted to identify some of those in-lake factors that could influence water quality, whether it be biology like carp or plants that are coming up. We wanted to identify areas of high phosphorus loading in the direct drainage area, and then identify specific projects for implementation to reduce the phosphorus load. That's the piece that we're going to be looking for some of your input on.
People have a desire to do the right thing. It's a matter of then communicating that message. That's part of the education piece of it.
Good morning, I'm Christina, and this is Kim, and we are with the 5th grade.
Every year, all our buildings in the district have an EE festival.
Today, you are going to be scientists, and we're going to
really have students learn from the great resource that we have from their windows and be able to explore hands-on all the different features that we have, especially, with our waterways.
135.
We help with staff on a number of different stations.
So think about all these lawns. Think about all of these agricultural fields that are putting pesticides and herbicides down. And all of a sudden, we have a little rain coming. It's raining. Beautiful. And all of these pollutants are going to end up in that lake.
See if you can find something in there.
found it.
So we have some representatives from the Three Rivers District, so our naturalists that come out to help us each year.
You see the other one? Look at that one swim around the edge.
Can you get it if you can reach it?
We do have our volunteers from the Watershed District and just some parents that are great enthusiasts too who help us out.
44, right?
Yeah.
As a Watershed District representative, it's important for us to continue to communicate the message of watersheds to the generations that are coming up, the future leaders.
What can you do to make a difference?
This used to be partial sand, and this is a part that we tried to keep as sand, and we spent more times tilling and trying to keep the weeds out of it. Finally we said, we're not winning, so let's just adapt to what
fighting? Let's just let nature have it. And so we started doing research on this and started talking to the Watershed District, and they said that we'd be a really good candidate for a lakescaping project. So we applied for it, and then they did all the drawings and brought out volunteers, and we participated. And so from where the flagpole is over, there's various Minnesota native plants that have been placed in there. One of the things we love, even though this looks kind of messy, sometimes people think, oh gosh, what a mess you have down there. We love it because it's a nice buffer to the shoreline, and the wildlife in here is unbelievable. We have so many hummingbirds, we can't even keep track of them, and we don't even feed them. We've got all kinds of butterflies that we didn't have before, so we know that there's stuff in here that they like. When we see the red-winged blackbird building their nest over there, and we see the hummingbirds down here and then the butterflies, it's magnificent. We don't have any regrets at taking away our beach. We wondered if we would when we couldn't play sand volleyball anymore and couldn't play horseshoes down here, but we haven't
missed a beat.
When we put projects in, like a rain garden on a curb cut, or someone does some water smart landscaping, the most effective type of education and outreach is that person's enthusiasm about the project they just finished. People see the benefits for themselves.
In place and
We got a very intelligent staff and that can meet people and talk and say, well, that's really not it, but we can do a little here or here. That's what it takes. I say the biggest thing we have to do is educate so that people do the right thing and want to do the right thing. If we can make people aware, they all have a responsibility to keep the lake clear. And if you fertilize, please check the bag to see that there's no phosphorus on it.